Hey guys, welcome back. Today I am working on week 31 in my 2022 Project Life album. I am using the retro mini kit from Citrus Twist, as well as some of the printables from August. So I have printed out some of the 3x4 cards. I've printed a couple of 4x6 cards, and the other 4x6s that I'm playing around with are the Traveler's Notebook papers that I have just cropped to 4x6 and printed straight out of Photoshop. Sometimes I print the Traveler's Notebook papers as papers and trim them down to 4x6s. Today I just straight out printed 4x6s out of my printer just to make life a little bit easier for myself. Now I'm going to keep things really simple this week. You might notice week 31 doesn't follow along. I'm missing a week. That's because I'm doing something a little bit special over with my Patreons this week. I'm going to do week 30 over there. So I'm back to 31 here, slowly catching up a little bit. Now I'm using some puffy stickers. I'm going to keep these like relatively simple. The Good Eats one I just tucked into kind of the blank spot on my photo. I didn't have a whole lot of photos this week, so you can see I've got a kind of spare 4x6 spot down there, and everything else I'm going to keep a little bit simpler. So I'm going to repeat that kind of pattern. There were two stickers on that puffy sticker sheet that kind of had the same like styling, the same font there. There's one that says Good Eats and there's one that says Currently. I want to use Currently on this kind of sunrise photo. It is kind of a big deal here when the sun starts peeking its way back during our morning walks. So I looked up and snapped a photo here. I didn't love the super like bright spot of the actual sunlight though, so I am working out a way to kind of cover that up. I used one of the tiny word stickers that says Here Comes the Sun, super appropriate, and then I just tucked that Currently sticker on top. So I did trim down the tiny word sticker a little bit on either end just so it didn't poke out either side of the Currently sticker. There was kind of heaps of blank space on there, so I trimmed that down just to make it a little bit more compact. Now these two photos, I've used a 4x6 to kind of back both of them. They are kind of related, but they're a little bit sort of separate, so I'm going to do them with the same background paper and kind of combine those elements even though they are on like separate cards in the pocket. So I kind of want it to look like a 4x6 even though it's separated. The reason I'm putting them up there rather than in that 4x6 spot down below is that I want to stamp a kind of quote that I saw at the start of August, and it really did kind of dictate the theme that I used for the month, which was play. So I want to stamp that down the bottom. I'm going to need a bigger spot to stamp it in rather than on a 3x4 card. So I'm splitting these ones over the two 3x4 pockets instead. So I just trimmed it down and I used one of the kind of, what do you call them? They're like a tab divider sticker underneath one photo. And then it was very easy to line these up, the photos up very straight this week on that grid paper. Super easy. And I wanted to use one of the puffy sticker words that says good. But I kind of want to add to it to make it like a little sentiment or title for these two cards. So I grabbed these little alpha stickers and I'm just going to create my title with them. I did decide to do this on my ruler guide first, and I'm glad I did because obviously like I want to kind of split this title across these two cards, and to do that I just want to place the puffy sticker where it's kind of easiest to cut it. So I'm going to do it between the O and the D because there's only a really small sort of joining line there. And then I want to be able to place these other little letter stickers where it works best for that puffy sticker. So could move those, wiggle those around. I ended up putting them underneath the photo and just centered onto that left-hand side photo. Then I'm going to add my puffy sticker. It is a little bit further down than I had thought it was going to be. So I'm going to cut off the bottom of the G too. It's totally fine. It still reads as good. I can just line these up. I am leaving a tiny little bit of a gap between them just so I can get my scissors in there, cut the puffy stickers and trim all those little extra pieces down that kind of hang off the edges of the card. And that's how I've created this kind of split 4x6 that can go into the pockets there. So I don't have a whole lot left to do apart from kind of stamp the card and make my title card. I'm going to leave the other 4x6 photo down the bottom reasonably plain. That was just kind of to go along with the play quote that I'm going to have. I ended up creating myself a little kit for the month of August, and I had just so much fun playing with that kit throughout the month. I almost used all of it. I've shared a few of those photos over on my Instagram, but mainly I used this over on my Patreon. So I decided that I would go through those little die cuts. There were a few I pulled out. I don't know that my whole quote is going to like cover up this 4x6 card, so I wanted to add a little bit of decoration. And what I'm going to end up doing is working on these three kind of cards, or the three 4x6s all in one go. So I decided to create a little cluster of die cuts down on the bottom, the quote card that I'm going to do. And then while I was looking for other bits and pieces to add to that, I'm kind of going to create my title card and fill in that 4x6 photo at the very same time. So I'm going to use a couple of puffy stickers. I really liked that little, I'm going to call it an orange die cut, but it didn't really kind of work with anything on my page, so I decided to skip that. I like these two kind of tucked in together. I didn't need the rain check, but I liked that radiate positivity, so I'm going to use that just to create the cluster. I'm keeping it really flat just in case that stamping goes over the top there, but it does give a little bit of kind of focal point down the bottom. And like I said, while I was looking for those, I found other little bits and pieces that I really might like to use. So there are a couple of chipboard pieces. I'm just going to add, I wouldn't even call it a cluster, I'm just going to add three things onto this photo. It says inspiration, beauty, and yes girl. So those were all things that I was thinking of when I pulled out my little kit. And then this is the title card, and I did actually flip over one of those die cuts. I'm not sure I'll ever use the word groovy, but I like that it kind of gives me a blank spot on this pattern paper to add in my title for the week. Now the white alphas you see there are the ones that come with the mini kit, but I'm going to use these rose gold ones because they are so beautiful. They are part of the add-on kit from this month, but I just adore them. They're such a beautiful color, kind of coppery, which I thought worked with some of the other colors in my spread. So I'm just going to use that die cut that I flipped upside down as kind of like a shelf to put my alphas on. They do all fit. I really only get lucky because 31 is a short number, but they all fit on there quite nicely. I'm going to add the typewriter on here for no other reason than it's super cute. I am going to typewrite some journaling, so I guess it kind of works. But really it's just because I love it. I think it's super cute. And then I'm going to add a few little puffy stickers. Look at me adding green. There's kind of a bunch of green on this spread. So I've added in 3 little heart stickers. And then I'm just going to stamp my date stamps onto that kind of shelf piece that I've created there. So that was a super easy title card. I really love how that turned out though. Those alphas are beautiful. You can be sure I will be using a bunch of those as well. So now the last things that I have to do is to type out my journaling card. So I'm just going to take that out and put it straight through my typewriter, and then I will carry on and stamp in my quote. So I have written it down. It's off to the side so I can make sure I spell that all correctly. I'm definitely going to speed this up. It did take me a little bit of time to stamp it, but it wasn't like too much of a drama. I am using that ruler guide though to try and make sure that I get this stamping as straight as possible. And I'm using one of my favorite stamp sets from Citrus Twist. This is the Bailey Thick and Thin Alpha. I love it because it works so nicely with those puffy stickers that I used for the title card, so it all ties in nicely. I'm just stamping in black straight onto my cardstock there. I end up with a little widow word down the bottom, and then I'm going to just whip that over to my typewriter. I do pull off the puffy sticker so that I can run it through my typewriter just to put in the like name of the author of the quote. So I didn't have room to stamp it. I've just typed it underneath, and then I can put the puffy sticker back on and call this page all done. Hey, thanks for watching today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you want to keep watching, I'm going to leave a couple of videos on screen. Otherwise, I'll see you again really soon. Bye.